Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for the final round of Daily D&T for this week. Yeah, you get a Saturday one, since we didn't start this one until Tuesday this week. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope your Thanksgiving breaks are going well for those of you who are getting them. We have a hand of magic cards. We're really hoping to play against something that Swords to Plowshares is good against. So my opponent has fetched early to play around a Stifle. Could be playing against Blue-Red Delver, could be playing against, like, literally everything. Everyone's on snow-covered islands now because of Astrolabe. I do not have the information necessary to cast this Phyrexian Revoker and be happy about it. We're going to do the old Google and see if we have any information on our opponent. MTG Goldfish for Odin FK. We have very old information, so I'm going to treat that as no information. My opponent's playing Storm or Sneak and Show or something. Like, my Revoker has good targets, but I kind of just want to buy a turn and Rashad and port them since they didn't do anything with their own turn. Yeah, sure. Scalding Tarns plus Snow-Covered Island is super ambiguous by Legacy standards. Not sure what I hope they are, because I feel like it's not really Delver at this point. Like, Delver making no proactive plays for 2 turns is a little strange. So I'm starting to lean towards Sneak and Show or Storm. Alright. Come on, Revoker on Grizzlebrand, and then Swords to Plowshares Grizzlebrand. My opponent has Emrakul. That's pretty decent. We name Grizzlebrand. So we have a few peels to beat this. That's not one of them. So I can take 15, go to 5, then draw Caracas. That's the out. No point in playing out other permanents here. They are just going to get annihilated. Could have considered attacking the Revoker and Emrakul, but, you know, they block. Caracas. Nope. Alright, concede. Alright. Needle seems okay. I'm not happy about Deafening Silence. Again, kind of wish it was Chalice. But it lets you beat some Omniscience lines, so I'm probably okay with that. I'll probably play Path to Exile. It's better than Rest in Peace. I'll probably play Council's Judgments, and that'll be about it. So previously versus Sneak and Show, I was cutting all of my Swords to Plowshares and then trimming my equipment package. So I was trimming a Jitte and a Stoneforge Mystic. Mother of Rune's also pretty weak in this matchup. It's kind of really questionable whether Mom is like better than another Stoneforge. A lot of times, though, I was cutting all my Moms because I was playing Chalice. So that might influence the equation a little bit. I guess since I have multiple Sanctum Prelates, I should consider keeping Mother of Runes to play around like a Braid or Echoing Truth a little bit better. Especially if I'm trying to like slow down the pace of the game with this. The awkward part, though, is that like Deafening Silence, Aether Vial, and Mother of Runes are all turn 1 plays, so there's internal conflict there. I think if I'm going to keep the Moms, I need to trim another Stoneforge Mystic. And I don't think I can justify playing all of the moms. Let's cut down to 2. I would like to play first. Yes. Yes, yes. If I draw a white source, this is a turn 3 Palace Jailer. I have something that beats a Show and Tell, and I have something that potentially beats a Sneak Attack. So the question is, like, in which order do I want to go and play these things? I think I'm going to start with a Pithing Needle on Grizzlebrand. And let's just reduce that to being a giant, annoying lifelinker that will kill me in 3 turns, instead of also being a draw engine. So Revoker will go on Sneak Attack, and then we'll hope to Palace Jailer them out. Alright, so I get to make a choice, and that choice is whether or not I am casting this Palace Jailer, or if I just want to put it in. If I want to cast it, then I need to play either Plains or Ancient Tomb this turn. My life total is largely irrelevant this game. Like, I take chunks of 15 or 7. I'm going to leave myself with the option of casting the Jailer next turn. I don't know that I'll do it, but I'm going to give myself the option to. And note, I did that with Ancient Tomb because one of Orum's recent lists did end up playing. Alright, so please don't Omniscience into Emrakul me. Please just put in the Emrakul. Yeah! To finish the thought, because of one of Orum's recent Sneak and Show lists was playing Days. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. We'll name Lotus Petal as what is probably the only remaining target left. We do have to consider the blue Arcanist, what is it, Omnipotent Arcanist, as something else that could also potentially muck with us. So running some numbers, I can use Ancient Tomb and double Rishadenport to port down 2 mana sources. So I don't necessarily want to play Thalia Heretic Cathar. I think I just want to play Deafening Silence. Which again, at this stage, might just have been worse than a Chalice. Enjoy your cantrip, friend. Now the bottom with that Preordain. And we go back to the drawing board. Do I want to change anything when I'm on the draw? I don't think so. The Deafening Silence probably becomes a little bit worse, but you know, whatever. We're in for trying it out at this point. So it is good to know that my opponent did sort of like aggressively just go for it, so keeping a hand with Palace Jailer will be very strong. I do not believe that this is an acceptable hand. While we have a mix of lands and spells, my opponent will probably naturally play around Wasteland, and none of these cards is good enough to just beat my opponent going for the combo, in all likelihood. This is much stronger, and we'll junk one of the Wastelands. The hand still has problems. Like, let's not beat around the bush in that regard. If opponent doesn't fetch, I will 100% snap their Misty. Hey, there's that Daze that I played around in the previous game. Don't I feel smart? I would really just like to see a volcanic island that I can wasteland. Oh, a tropical island that I can wasteland. Yeah, that's fine too. I'm just looking to buy time at this point. I feel like every land drop that I hit, I'm going to become more and more favored to win this game. My opponent bottomed with the Preordain as well. All right, my opponent found another land. Probably get another island. Maybe they have multiple petals. Burning Wish. All right. What are you getting? Just an empty? Oh, okay. They have a copy of Show and Tell out there that they can go and get. All right. So now we play this weird sub-game where I can either port them off of this Show and Tell, or I can just play a Recruiter, but telegraph what card I'm going to get. I don't know that they have room for both Burning Wish and Omniscience in their deck. Let's see if this gets dazed. No. There's a very real argument to just get Sanctum Prelate here to force them to go for the Show and Tell on their turn when I can just Caracas a creature back to their hand. At the same time, I could also just get the Jailer and just beat a creature that they would put into play. But I feel like I already beat the creature that they put into play, either with Council's Judgment or with Caracas. So I think I'm going to get Sanctum Prelate. The Show and Tell sub-games are really fun. I enjoy them a lot. So we are not beating Omniscience. But we should beat the other cards. So if I put in Caracas, I can't lose to Sneak Attack plus Lotus Petal. If I put in Sanctum Prelate and my opponent puts in Omniscience, I can stop cantrips. I have creatures covered 2 different ways on my turn. Let's Prelate. So 1 answers cantrips. 0 would answer Lotus Petal. No, that doesn't matter. Yeah, let's name 1. All right. Lots and lots and lots of lines available to me here. I could cast a Council's Judgment, hope that my opponent dazes it to set them back on tempo. But I think I just like doing this. So I can't cast this Ether Vial. I think I just like bouncing the Grizzlebrand. They're going to draw at least 7 cards. They could draw another 7 and leave themselves at 1. Which they are doing. So now I'm going to just attack. I'm going to ship these on in there. I don't want to play anything because my opponent has 18 cards, and it's pretty likely that they have access to a daze after drawing that many cards, even though there's already 1 in the graveyard. So I don't just want to jam the Recruiter into daze. I'd rather, like, guaranteed set them back the mana via port. So again, we're in the same spot as last turn, where we can't necessarily beat an Omniscience, but my opponent has to have non-fetch land plus Show and Tell plus Omniscience plus Emrakul. So they need 4 specific cards in their 19 cards. Doesn't seem like they have it. There's some wiggle room there, like a Lotus Petal could occur instead of a land. But just flopping a creature into play is not enough. I guess there's also the sneak attack routes to victory. So let's think about those. So that would involve getting 4 mana. One of which has to be red, and then a 5th mana to activate. So alternatively, opponent could have like Petal, Land, Petal, Sneak Attack, and Emrakul or Grizzlebrand to survive another turn. Opponent says GG's. GG's. Somewhat surprised that that went as well as it did there. Show and Tell is a difficult matchup. So we ended up 4-1 this league. So talking about the deck list, Thalia Heretic Athar didn't really do anything the entire time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. You know, it has good synergy with the Ancient Tomb that's there. But I really think these Mirror Crusaders should be in the main deck. They're so powerful right now. There's a lot of Oko mush running around. Still not sold on this card. Deafening Silence did do some work against the strange Mystic Forge combo deck that we saw. I'll fully own up to that one, but sort of in the same vein that Chalice is in the Sneak and Show matchup. It's fine, but pretty awkward there. Remorseful Cleric out of the sideboard didn't feel particularly powerful. Pithing Needle felt great. Council Judgment felt great. The normal stuff that's there felt great. I almost wanted a second copy of Cataclysm, just kind of like conceptually with the list. Charming Prince did really good work against Blue-Red Delver in, I think that was round 3 or something like that. So not unhappy to be playing a deck list similar to this one, although I'd probably make a few more changes before I'd be happy with submitting it. Folks, once again, thank you for watching this week, and thank you to Nathan L. for supporting this week of Daily Death and Taxes. If you're enjoying the series and want to see it continue, please consider throwing $12 my way and supporting next week. Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your break.